Bolt Bros in the house. Let's go.
All three of the bros again.
All three of the bros.
All three of the bros. Let's do it. Yeah, a lot to discuss today, guys. And well, actually, there's not a whole lot to discuss today. You know, this week we talked about the offense and the defense, what to expect. Rookies report on the 16th, so that's pretty exciting, right?
Yep.
So hopefully we have some good content. There is some rumors we might be going after Stephon Gilmore as a cornerback. There's definitely some rumors about defensive linemen we might go after as well. So I think once we get back into camp, some of those discussions are going to start really heating up. So it get pretty interesting, guys. I still think Joe Ortiz is cooking, folks. And I think it's going to get spicy, guys. It's going to be exciting. So a lot of you guys are in the chat. Again, this is going to be a good opportunity for you guys to ask questions. We will throw your questions out there as well. Again, we're going to kind of focus on the offense and the defense, but lots to talk about. So let's get into it.
Let's
Bros.
go.
Let's go.
I'm Dale Henley. You watching the Boat Bros podcast? Let's do it!
All right.
Man,
yes.
It's awesome. It's awesome to see that. Every time I watch that video, I think, man, training camp is about to happen.
Yeah,
like football season is about to start.
Yeah.
Like, and I cannot
It's
wait.
literally
Like,
right around the corner, bro. Yeah.
next week, you got players coming in. Like, and that's exciting. Like, I always look at it like when training camp starts, season starts. Like, we are at that point. And you know, we're going to talk a little bit about Ben Herbert too. And kind of what pretty much happened with Ben Herbert in his interview. I think it was a phenomenal interview on top of that too.
Was.
So, but let's get a little shot real quick for the Broncos here.
Hang on a second, guys. I just had about a new intro that we could do. Remember, like the scene from Happy Gilmore where he was like talking about all the jobs he had, or whatever like that, and every single time he was always like doing a little humping thing, whatever. We could totally do that. We're at the Bolt, whatever. Like we're just in front of it, like like
like we're humping it or something, dude. I mean, that would be pretty funny. That would be
really funny.
James just hanging out at the Bolt Bro or at the Bolt notices this Charger logo here, and he starts humping it. You know.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Kyle's got a picture of the Bolt logo, you know, face logo, and that would be pretty ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And Bolt Babe, just so you know, I'm the favorite of all of us.
Oh, get out of here, dude!
We all know.
Hey, I don't have my soundboard, man. I can't be like.
Yeah, that's right. You can't chime in. Bom, bom, bom.
Wait, here you go.
Yeah, here's the Broncos right here, dude. Yeah. Thank you.
Fool's got jokes.
Extinguish the guild. That's right. Always the oldest and best looking, folks. And best looking.
Sure.
Negatory.
Best personality. Overall, the best. That's what I'm saying.
Biggest knucklehead, dude.
That's so funny. No, but that's a pretty good little meme there, you know, for sure.
Oh,
I love
it. I love it. It's so funny because it's there's so much truth to that. It's like they were just fire in the 90s, won their Super Bowls, got a Super Bowl, and then things just got bad.
Yeah, I got all
from this point on.
Yep.
So,
well, I think in the 2010s there would have been one year in there that was like the perfect year for the the 90s there, because when they had Peyton Manning there, you know.
Yep, that's when they got a Super Bowl basically, and so it's from that point on, it's pretty much just gone to horse dookie,
back to hell.
Hey, so Randazzo brings up a really good question here. He said, how come there was zero love for the special teams kicker, punter, return specialists? And honestly, I was just thinking, should we do a video on the changing rules for special teams? Because that's actually a really good point. I hadn't really thought about that. So guys in the chat, would you like us to do a video on special teams?
Yep. Yeah, and that's something we could easily knock out next week. I mean, it's the new rules is kind of interesting, and I've heard some weird rumors about what people might be doing and what teams might be doing. So
See?
Yeah.
Old Babes have confirmed.
Babe, come on. Get out of here.
Thank you. They've confirmed.
Get out of here.
Yep. Done.
Can't believe it.
The case is closed. Okay. Gavel. Where's the gavel? The gavel, dude.
No gavel. No gavel.
Nope. We're taking that one to court.
Take that one to court. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Man.
a great injustice has been committed.
The chat's got some jokes right now. That's all I'm saying.
No joke. And Uncle Jam's Army. That's kind of funny.
Nice.
I like the name because some people call me Jams. Hey Jams. Yo, Bo Bros, where do you rank the Chargers going into training camp? PFF has the Bolts at 26, below Raiders, which is whack. Actually, we'll talk about one slide here shortly, kind of about that. There are a lot of rankings that I think are ridiculous about what they're saying about the Chargers. I get it. There's a lot of uncertainty, but we'll chat more about that here shortly. Let's talk about this complainer right here. This Raider. This guy just tears. What's funny to me about Devontae Adams, obviously he's an absolute stud. I haven't watched the Netflix show Wide Receiver yet, but I keep seeing clips on it. And the guy, dude, I think if this season goes really bad for him really quickly early on, he's going to want to get immediately out of the Raiders.
Yeah, for sure.
He basically was the guy that got rid of Jimmy G, essentially. It's Jimmy G or me, pretty much. Get rid of him or I'm out, kind of, or whatnot. So basically now they got Aiden O'Connell and then they got Gardner Minshew. And they got kind of a bad O-line, by the way, too. And so to be honest, what's funny to me, and Kyle talked about this before we jumped on, this has been living rent-free in his head since basically April, or whenever we release the schedule and everything. It's been sitting in this dude's head. And I think that's hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah.
So
job well done to the Chargers social media, to have, because it was not once, but there's been twice this week that he's talked about this situation. So it's like, dude, you got to let that stuff go. Hey, remember, this is all about Happy Gilmore, it's all circular motion. You got to in with the good, out with the bad.
In with the good, out with the bad.
Out with the bad, it's a circular, Yeah.
Exactly. And I think it was funny that the Chargers social media decided to put sensitive content warning. You click on it, it's a Pop-Tarts logo. Ooh, another shot at him. Let's go. I love it. Like,
shots fired, baby. Shots fired.
Yeah, they didn't back down. They went straight in. Let's go.
Heck yeah. Yep.
I love it. So really good to be able to see the whole Chargers media still talking smack all around. I think it was hilarious.
Yeah, so this is a good question about the Bowl Babes. But question, where do you think that Chargers strong points are, and where do you see need of improvement to win this year? Well, I think Herbert's a strong point, of course, right? I think the offensive line will be a strong point. I think the defense will be good too. I think we'll be a top 10 defense. That's my personal belief. So,
yeah, I mean, definitely Herbert, the offensive line, giving Herbert enough time and protection to be able to let the wide receivers get that separation, it's going to be great. It's going to be the best thing for sure.
And Herbert makes any wide receiver and tight end look better too. You know what I mean? Yep. Period.
I think the biggest strong point of this team is Harbaugh. Harbaugh and the coaching staff in general. Obviously Herbert's been the guy. And I mean, what was the stat that I think we threw up on our Instagram or our YouTube? It was something where Justin Herbert's had 7 basically game leading late fourth quarter based drives to put us in winning position, and having those all 7 be losses. When you got a coach that's competent, that knows what the heck he's doing, he knows how to find a way to close games out. And I'm sure we would have probably a 2-minute, 30-second type defenses that actually aren't going to be 3-man rush, everybody back in zone kind of situation here. We're going to probably have a much better sound system in place and be more prepared for those type of scenarios. And so I'm excited to be able to see that develop, where Herbert does his magic. Now defense, do your job kind of thing.
Yeah. Grand Ash got a good question here too. Question each: top 3 to 5 surprise for the 2024 Chargers players cuts this year. What's the reason? Position overfilled, player never lived up to the hype.
I like this. That'd be fun to do for sure.
Yeah. Another good one, Grandizer. Do the Chargers need Stephon Gilmore, or is it a want? I think it's a need.
I think it's a need. 100%.
Yeah, and I think the reason why I would say that is that, Jesse Minter's defense, if you watched my video I did yesterday, or no, what was that, Wednesday or Thursday? The corners need to play physical. And, Asante Samuel's not a very physical corner. We don't have very physical corner plays. And I think Gilmore would do that. He'd at least bring some, physicality to the corner room.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would even argue that Gilmore was what made J.C. Jackson successful in New England. So, I think he's a need. I think you get him.
I agree.
That's my take. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I can't remember. I think it was one of the other podcasts, and they had a guy that was all set up. Another podcast for a Ravens podcast, talking about how the Ravens function as a team. They would draft players, even though it doesn't look like it's necessarily a need, but they're thinking ahead to be able to get the best possible player for whatever position it might be. If you think about what Joe Ortiz did, best possible player, regardless, he ended up going with a Joe Alt versus going with the neighbors kind of situation. Yep. If you start looking kind of down the road in the way that the Ravens function as an organization, they want to go after the best regardless. And if we could find another guy, and cornerbacks are always a premium, in my opinion, to get a guy that's a vet guy, to be another guy that's in the lineup, plug and play type kind of guy, Stephon Gilmore would be massive just to be able to add to this team. And he's been playing at a high level. Even if he's at 33, he's still good.
Yeah.
Still really good.
Yeah. Well, and again, he's a bridge guy, right? Yeah. Then in the draft, you go higher round picks for, a guy that's going to be hopefully NFL ready day one. Yep. And that's the difference, right? But yeah, it's a big conversation for sure. So we'll see. There was some rumors about some other defensive linemen we might go after. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Again, but keep throwing your questions out as well, too, guys. Please.
I thought this was kind of an interesting stat because I know somebody brought up earlier on in the questions is talking about like, hey, how do you rank us? Basically, I think it was Uncle Jam's Army was talking about it. So ESPN ranked us at 32 out of all 32 teams in skill positions: running back, wide receiver, tight end.
That's so freaking ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Like
we're the worst team in the NFL on paper.
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? Like,
that's disrespect.
That's
disrespect.
Yeah, man. They put the Hawk 2 on us, bro.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's a good thing, man.
That is. Yeah. But if the spit is what I'm talking about. The spit.
They put the 2 girls, 1 cup on us. That's what they did.
But I mean, the one thing too is like, look, like you look at 2023 ranking on there, 5th in the league, 2022, 6th in the league, just because Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Eckler left. Now we're just basically down to the worst in the league. Right. That's, I think, a very, very ridiculous statement. Now, I get it. We are a team that we're trying to be figured out still. There's a lot of things out there where it's a little unsure about how this team's going to function. But look, man, bottom line, you got Jim Harbaugh on the corner. Right. Like, I'm sorry, he's going to make some dogs out there. If you guys watch the podcast 3 and Out with John Middlecoff, he did like a top 10 coaches in the league, and he put Jim Harbaugh at number 3 in the league. And I feel a lot of people understand that too. I mean, this guy knows how to coach everywhere he's gone, successful regardless. So I think I think they're gonna eat crow on this one. Well, I mean, only way is to go up from this point, to be honest. So,
yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah, like I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, and to answer like our question, Army the Jams guy, I think that we should be a solid like 16, 15 overall on our team right now. Like, I mean, obviously I get it. And we've talked about this like at length before, is that like, cause everyone's like, oh, we don't have any weapons anymore. We don't have our, wide receivers anymore. We don't have our running backs. We don't have a good tight end or whatever like that yet. Yep. Well, I mean, we're playing a different type of football now.
Exactly.
And all those players that we had that people thought were like, the GOAT and greatest players and stuff like that, hey, we had them for so many years and we didn't make anything happen. We won like one playoff game.
It's a different brand of football. Yeah, we're rebranding the organization completely.
Right. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
good point.
So we're going to shock everyone. And here's the crazy thing too is like I think this is also them just ESPN just guarding themselves because they ranked our team so high under the Brandon Staley franchise or era that they're now just like, oh, okay, well let's just be wrong about it, like the other way, So
I wouldn't be surprised.
So I think it's a good place for us to not get the hype because then it's making the players be like, nah, we're gonna prove everyone wrong here. So,
good question by both Grandizer. B or C if Gilmore signs elsewhere. So if you look at the Adoree Jackson still available, he was actually pretty good. Xavier Howard is still available as a cornerback, but he allowed nearly 63% completion percentage when targeted. So So but look, I think you could maybe Cam Hart has to step up, right? I think he could be the C, but Cam Hart, is physical, so I think he's a big guy that could play the run well. But I think there's an issue interesting. And the Titans did sign Jamal Adams. That's right, interesting.
Yeah, he got to get like a 3-year contract, I believe, with Jamal Adams. So,
So
congrats.
Yeah, and smash that like button, guys. Thank you, Bolt Babes. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you.
Appreciate it. And by the way, the Bolt is open this weekend.
Open for business.
Fans to come and check it out. So I think we've talked about it for the last 3 weeks, but basically, hey, it is open now for fans to go check it out. You got to get tickets through Chargers website and everything too. I've been seeing.
I think they sold out actually, instantly. It was quick. Pretty quick. But yes, there are people kind of like going in there in and out right now. It looks like some of the people had a special look yesterday. It looks like I saw Matt Money Smith was walking around.
Like the media guys.
Yep.
Yeah, we were hoping we'd get invited, but boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going
to be awesome. And once again, guys, next week, the rookies are reporting for camp at the Bolt. So it is awesome to be able to see. The facility looks amazing. If you haven't watched the video and seeing what the facility is, check on Chargers YouTube page, and you can see the entire facility. It's phenomenal looking. It's a great looking place.
We should discuss also why the rookies come in, because as a rookie, you're not under the NFLPA type of rules the same way, right? So they can ride you like Seabiscuit, basically. You're a rookie, great. You're gonna get ridden, right? We are gonna make you not a rookie very quick, right? And so, but it gives an opportunity for the undrafted free agents to step in and actually show the team what they can do, right? So,
no doubt.
And let's sign Kay Adams, dude, because I'll tell you what,
They also did say that the quarterbacks are going to be reporting the same week too. I think they're actually reporting on the 16th of this week. I think Jim Harbaugh asked them to be able to report in early, so they will be working with the rookies too. So, which is kind of cool, and it's cool to be able to see. Once again, I think a lot of these guys bought in the system pretty much, so it's great.
Yeah, we need to get Patrick Mahomes and Phil Rivers a different hobby. Hey, dude, the funny thing is, didn't Phil Rivers just have a baby too? They had another one, didn't they?
Another baby? Dang,
I don't even know. He did.
He probably did. I wouldn't put it past him, man. That fool's got some he's got some soldiers, man. I tell you that much.
He's
Phil Rivers' kids. I can't remember. Oh, he's got 10 children.
10? I think he has 12 now. Yeah.
A lot of kids. It's a lot of kids. Well, I thought this was kind of an interesting question in our posts, kind of talking about the Bolt and everything like that. So B Sheffield 5224 said, which is the biggest draw for future free agents, this new facility or the teaming of Harbaugh Herbert? Ooh, it's a good question. I mean, I think ultimately it's the Harbaugh situation. I've said a lot that it has a lot to do with the Harbaugh effect, in my opinion. But what's your guys' thoughts?
Well, it kind of just depends. I think some players do like the fact that we have a great new facility and stuff like that, because the truth is, like a lot of the colleges, they have these amazing practice facilities and stuff too that really, in a lot of ways, put a lot of NFL teams facility to shame. And so I think that they would like a nice new place, to be kind of treated like a king. as it were there, getting fed by Wolfgang Puck and, having all these like high tech facilities and like the training room itself looks amazing. It looks like it's like half the building. Yeah. It's like huge, like there's stuff inside and outside. Yeah. So it's like, and there's even a lap pool. You can freaking do some laps, man. That's awesome.
It's killing.
But ultimately though, too, like the chance to play with Harbaugh and the chance to potentially go far into the playoffs and stuff like that is going to make all the difference. And so that's where Harbaugh, if he really wants to build the team that he needs, like he's going to have to make it to the playoffs and at least win 1 or 2 games this year. And I think, and then a lot more players will want to play with us, and at discount rates.
Yeah, I think you guys said it all perfectly, right? At the end of the day, that's the draw, dude. You're living in LA. Of course, California's messed up state, at the moment, but it is what it is. You got, but my point is like that facility is ridiculous. Remember how bad our rankings were? With all of that, and guess what? The Raiders are moving there now, right? So hilarious to me. But the reality is, this was what was going to happen. It's going to take time for it to come to fruition, and it is what it is, right? So now it's incredible, dude. Now it's incredible.
No doubt.
By the way, going back to the kid situation, okay. Name an NFL player that has 14 children.
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill does? Well, Antonio Cromartie does as well. He's got
Cromartie too,
yeah.
I think actually Tyreek Hill's got 10 and like 6 baby mamas or something crazy like that. Bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
just like the Bible said, he's multiplying and replenishing the earth, dude. I tell you what.
So I think Antonio Cromartie can fill the defensive room, and then Phil Rivers can fill the offensive room. So so that's the whole point,
All right, and that's cool. I couldn't handle that.
Cromartie,
How do you deal with that? I don't know, man. Those bills are thick for sure. Thick,
right? Nick Cannon, dude.
Yeah. He got to get that snip quick,
dude.
Hey, get that snip quick.
The prolific man, dude.
Has been brought to you by Getting Snipped.
Getting Snipped.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
We did have someone talking about Plan B and Plan C, so I was like, well, there you go, man. I think we're sponsored by Plan B right now. Shoot.
Have a little forethought on that. I was going to slide here though too. The Walk of Fame is pretty amazing, guys. That's pretty sick.
So cool. What a great move by the Chargers to have that right in front of the facility walking in. It's just like having the Walk of Fame like in Hollywood in front of the Chargers stadium of all the legends. And apparently Kyle was saying something that you could have donated $5,000 or whatever and got your own name there. How sick would it be if we had a Bolt Bros one on there? We'd be immortalized, bro. We'd be with the big names. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
How sick would that be?
That'd be dope. I don't think it was actually $5,000, but I was wondering if anyone in the chat did buy a brick or something like that, because I know because they did that. It's kind of like how it is for Disneyland. If you go over there, like they have like a whole bunch of bricks, you can just put your family name on there and stuff. Yeah. So like to be part of the team forever that way, So like I'm like, dang, like I think that should be a fundraising goal for us. I think for sure, like let's get it on there for sure, man.
I think what I should do is take a yellow marker over there and draw our name in there.
Oh,
and then we get a picture of all of us like around.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would be hilarious. Dude, that'd be great for the video. We're like this. We're like, what's up?
That would be hilarious.
Oh, that'd be
so funny, dude. Yeah. We'd be on the Walk of Fame.
We made it, bro.
Oh, nice.
Grandizer's got a good question. Is it true the Chargers girls may hire 2 new cheerleaders? When are the cheerleaders going to get interviewed by the Bolt Bros? ASAP, Grandizer, of course.
Ooh. Yeah, man.
Hey, Adams, put her out there.
I better set up our casting couch first, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Speaking of prolific, it'll be good. So, all right, here we go. This is another question from Grandizer. Question to all 3 possible future string top 10 Charger players who never made the Pro Bowl but should have. Oh God!
Ooh,
wow.
I mean, I think Austin Eckler should be one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't understand why he never made one. It's crazy.
It's because he's not really a traditional running back. I guess that's probably why. He definitely would be on that list for sure.
Yeah. That's the first one I'd think of, but that's a tough one to be able to do all right now. But down the road, that'd be awesome.
I would say like, Mike Williams a couple times. It's just like, even just because, he should have been always there, but he just was always injured. So yeah.
Yeah. By the way, guys, we're going to add this to our weekly live call. Or video, we're going to go back and look at the comments you guys make on our videos and try and add it too. Throw questions out. And we want to make sure that happens. So just the weekly videos, throw some thoughts and questions out. We'll go from there.
Yeah, and I thought this was kind of an interesting one with Breeze B 8720. Caleb walked past Keenan Allen, pretending not to see him after the signing. What does it say about him? Fake as F. I'm guessing this won't translate well in the locker room and onto the field.
Yeah.
To be honest, man, like the more you kind of watch this whole situation with Keenan Allen being with the Bears, I think he realizes it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think he chose money over basically success, essentially. And it's sad to see, because I mean, I don't know. I know in our personal chat between us three here, where I was chatting a lot about the Bears, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. They might have a really, really hard start to their season, like very hard start to their season. And that's going to make things crumble. Like for their head coach to be able to be back, like I have no idea how they happened. He basically ended the season 5-3. Cool. That sounds good. But before that, you didn't even win a game since October of 2022, pretty much. It might've been November of 2022. And they brought him back. Like, I don't understand why they decided to bring him back. And then they're like, oh, we'll give him a bunch of weapons around him. That'll change everything. I don't know. Lame.
So, and again, remember, Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze have not signed.
Yep.
So, there are fears that they might sit out, which would be a freaking disaster.
Of course.
But dude, Caleb Williams I said it before. I think that guy's going to be a mess, dude. I'm not a huge fan. So I'm glad, obviously we don't have to worry about a quarterback, but I think that guy's going to be a huge bust.
Totally. I mean, he's just going to be absolute drama in the locker room. Like, and he was going to be, we all knew, I think we suspected that he was going to be drama with this contract, because he was talking about how his dad wanted to have part ownership of the team. All this stuff, it's like, dude, and he's completely unproven. Yeah, he knows his value, knows his worth or whatever, but like you can't say you are worth like Patrick Mahomes or whatever, that, until you actually become Patrick Mahomes,
Yep.
So
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But anyways, either way, it's a mess. And dude, this guy's a stud muffin, bro. It's gonna be good.
He looks like a heavier set Doctor Strange.
That's he does. He does.
Yeah. But look, like I did a whole video.
Cumberbatch, what's up?
Yeah. I did a whole video about Greg Roman's offense. Gave some examples of run plays, pass plays. Look, I am fully confident about the run game with him. Like, it's going to be a very unique package, something that we desperately need for years, basically. Since I would almost put even decades, because I think since LaDainian Tomlinson, we didn't really have a run game, pretty much. Period. And he's going to bring the game. I mean, Greg Roman's going to bring a very good run game to this team. Now, the pass game, kind of to me, is going to be unsure. He sat out 1 year after getting let go from the Ravens. And I watched an interview after that, and he said, hey, look, I'm just going to watch a lot of different offenses out there. I'm going to kind of figure things out a little bit more with like figuring out how to make this offense even better. And so my hopes is that, like I said in the video, Jim Harbaugh basically told him, hey, man, we're going to go on an NFL run. I'm going to bring you as my offensive coordinator, and, get ready. You might have Justin Herbert. So make sure you make an offense that works for him. So we'll see where it lands with Greg Roman, but I'm excited to be able to see finally a run game for once in an offensive line or a line-based type team, defensive, offensive lines, that we're going to just be dogs at the lines. I love it.
So James, how likely is Salyer in coming back, or is it Jamari, or are we talking about Rashawn Slater?
Yeah, I think he's Slayer, as in Keenan Allen.
Oh,
I kind of thought about it. Like, why would he not come back? Like, I mean, we got a lot of 1-year contract type guys right now. We could essentially only have Darius Davis and Ladd McConkey and Darius Davis as our only wide receivers on the team next year if we don't re-sign anybody. Oh, and Quentin Johnson, excuse me. Yep. But we would be pretty thin at that position, guys. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe he'll suck it up and come back. I mean, I don't know if he sold his house in LA, so who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and again, I still think George Ortiz is going to be cooking, man. He's going to be going out, and again, he's just getting depth players, right? And so you can sign people for 1-year contracts. The cool thing is you get comp picks for those guys. And actually, we got 6 comp picks coming our direction, which is pretty cool. So next year we're gonna have 6 comp picks. Or no, sorry.
I think it's 5 actually, right?
Let me double check. Let me double check real quick because
go for it.
Have changed.
So we got a question from the video I did here. It says, Tilly7731 says, it looks like Greg Roman has a good handle on the running game. In every season, he was the Ravens offensive coordinator. The leading rusher was Lamar Jackson. I can't see Justin Herbert filling that role. Who would be the running quarterback on the team? Now, that's going to be an interesting one because I think Justin Herbert will use his legs a little bit more. He's not going to use it to a Lamar Jackson type level. One of the plays that I showed was a lot of bootleg, and Justin Herbert really thrives on success rates with bootleg.
Yeah.
Earlier on in training camp, I remember somebody even saying, like, I've always said Justin Herbert needs to learn how to pump fake and run at that point. And in training camp, he was using a lot more pump fakes, and he was, faking people out left and right. That's what a pump fake could do and open up the lanes to be able to run and to be able to get that first down. Use his legs all around. And some people were like, oh, he uses it all the time. I don't think he really does. And that's why he gets a lot of batted passes down, in my opinion, too. Because it's more like everybody knows, hey, when he's going to throw and he's throwing motion, he's going to freaking throw. Like, he's not going to pump fake anybody. So who's going to be the running quarterback? I mean, you could just say number 2, I guess, Easton Stick, if you want to say that. I mean, he's got good legs. He can move, and he's very, very mobile. But we'll see where it kind of lands. I don't personally think that's going to be that big of a focus in this offense, in my opinion. It's going to be a part of it, but it's not going to be a big focus like Lamar Jackson.
Well, I mean, at the same side, though, I mean, in college, I mean, obviously Herbert's pretty far removed from college ball now, but he was running around a lot more with Oregon. And
I like him scrambling, though. He does look good when he gets out of the pocket.
I like it,
Yeah, he looks great when he gets out of the pocket. And I think that's kind of what they hope for with him. I mean, I think after 1 year, Justin Herbert ran for more yards than Phillip Rivers did in his entire 16-year career at the Chargers. So
statue Phillip Rivers, man.
Yep.
So going back to the comp picks, we have 3. I don't know why I was thinking 6.
Oh, I thought,
because I think they cap it. They cap it to the entire league, so it's like you kind of have to be like first come first serve kind of thing.
Yeah, and they rank them. So we have a 5th for Kenneth Murray, we have a 6th for Gerald Everett, and a 6th for Austin Eckler.
Yeah, but it caps off. So like, because
that's still pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So Austin Johnston canceled out Christian Fulton when we signed him, right? Michael Davis canceled out Gus Edwards. So. But we got 3, which is good. So that's still good. We're seeing a lot of things going down the pipe, right? So,
and Bolt Town is asking about what the possibility of Wildcat. Yeah, I could totally see that happening. And I mean, it'd be interesting to see who's going to be the one in the backfield too. If it's going to be like Darius Davis, you got to think speed, DJ Shark. You got to think that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. So I can totally see that. The running motions are going to be so different within this team, and it's going to be exciting. Like the one that I showed. I call it the plus formation because it literally has 2 tight ends to each side with a running back with the quarterback. And it's a perfect, confusing looking like package. You don't know where the heck this ball is going to go. You have so many you have literally 3 options plus yourself to kind of decide where you want to go. And I hope that they're going to run that package because that's a great looking package. That sounds terrible to say it that way. That's a great looking package.
Wow. Your verbiage needs some work there, buddy. Hey,
make sure just guys, don't take a shower with James.
Watch out.
Yeah.
A phenomenal package.
You got. Well, I thank you. But Gail, it's interesting. Go watch that video of Ben Herbert, man. He breaks down how they evaluate player and player strength. It's pretty phenomenal, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to go into it
right after this one too. So
yeah, we'll talk more about that too.
Awesome.
But
awesome.
That's what she said. Yeah, Miguel, we're on the same page, buddy. Major pause.
Major pause for sure.
Hey, but watch my video on the defense. Jesse Minter, guys, I don't think he's going to be here very long, right? I think a lot of people really like him. He's kind of like the Brandon Staley. I know we don't like to hear that word, but he's kind of an up and coming, he game plans very well, right? So he's going to take players off the table, much like Bill Belichick did all the time, right? By the way, you see him with his 24-year-old girlfriend. What's that all about, dude? Holy smokes, bro.
Anyway, that's like his great grandchild, pretty much, or whatnot.
Bro, what's happening here, dude?
Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. All right,
but cool. At the same time, apparently that cheerleader did hook up with some other, like a 60-year-old millionaire guy too, though. So she's like a known gold digger. So
she a gold digger.
Sure. Yeah.
She a gold digger.
Yeah.
She ain't dating. Anyways, we got it. But my point is, Jesse Minter is going to be. He's going to rush 5 most of the time, but you don't know where those 5 are going to come from. He's going to keep the offense guessing, and it's going to be playing checkers, and chess, man. I mean, it's going to be a strategized formula, right? He's very good at getting the most out of his players, but I also suspect there's going to be a bit of a rotation. There's going to be a lot of rotations of players, and it's going to be pretty interesting.
The one thing I really like about Jesse Minter's defense, and I watched a lot of his plays last year for Michigan. Carl, what up?
What's up, Carl?
One thing I love about Minter's defense is the defensive line has a lot of stunts, a lot of motion, a lot of movement. It's not just go to your guy, try to beat that guy. There's also a lot of action from the linebackers. We're going to finally see some blitzing linebackers, which I think Kenneth Murray was kind of better at that than going.
I think he was 100%.
And they never used him that way. And so I think Jesse Minter is going to get the most out of his linebackers this year.
Yep.
And that defensive line is going to be creating a lot of confusion all around. And I think it's going to be awesome to watch. It's going to be very awesome to watch.
Yeah. And I do think that, he focuses on confusion. Again, go back and watch my video. I felt like I did a pretty comprehensive breakdown on it, but I'll say this: confusion. He's going to get the most out of his players. Yep. And they're going to use Derwin James very differently, right? I think the whole point of having Tony Jefferson is that Derwin can be free. He can go play wherever the hell he needs to play on the field now and take people off the board, right? Okay, we're playing the Chiefs. Yeah, he's going to smack Travis Kelce in the mouth the entire time.
Yep.
Just get in his face.
Dude,
I'm all over you like white on rice, like ugly on an 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch Kyle Hamilton with the Ravens last year. Essentially, that's the same defense. Kyle Hamilton was an absolute dog, you know.
And they're going to use Derwin James. Derwin James is going to be Kyle Hamilton, which is going to be exciting. So it'd be good.
Exactly. So here's a pretty good question from Jacob Stocks 4796. So he says, if he turns our team around and we're a top 10 defense, do you believe they will stay in LA or will it get scooped up?
I think it's going to get scooped up.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that a little bit before, but I mean, truth is, like, I really hope that Jesse Minter, he likes playing with his friends, because I think that him and Harbaugh has his boys, and I hope that the money just doesn't pull him away, because I would love to be able to keep the team that we have for as long as possible with the coaches and everything and stuff. But that's just the problem, the money always speaks volumes, but I relate it to a lot like in film, you think about this David Fincher, he's one of the greatest directors and stuff. The studios told him to not work with his friends, like for his movies and stuff like that. And so he went off and did Aliens 3. Horrible movie, hated it. But then so he vowed to never not work with his friends again. And then that's when he went off and did Fight Club later. So great movie, in contrast and stuff. So my fingers are crossed that we do still keep Jesse Minter for at least another year, maybe 3 at most or whatever. But obviously if we win a championship, then all bets are off. Like 100%. Yeah, we're getting the Swiss cheesed.
Yeah.
Even if we go to the Super Bowl and not win the championship, I mean, it's
still going to get looked.
Yeah. Or heck, even if we just go to the,
AFC Championship game,
win a couple games in the playoffs, I mean,
right.
And again, everyone's sleeping on the Chargers, but this is a very different mindset, and the way that they want to play is very focused, and it's going to be taking advantage of small cornerbacks, right? And Senior Snappy, Corbin, little peanut butter and jealous that you're going to be going to the Bowl today.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Have fun there, dude. That's going to be amazing to see. Kyle, I think, will be there tomorrow too. So
I'm planning to go. I'm planning to be there tomorrow for sure.
I was going to say one thing about Jesse Minter, though, and just as an example, think about what happened with Ben Johnson with the Lions. And, he was a hot commodity for a head coach kind of position, and then seemed like he had some offers out there. And then, what did the Lions do? They said, hey, we're going to pay you a little bit more money, and then we're just going to keep you here. Like, the Chargers are spending a lot of money to try to keep a good, solid coaching staff. And let's say next year, let's say the Jets job is open. Let's say the Miami Dolphins job is open. Let's say the Bears job's open, just as an example. Those are kind of like positions and teams where they could have a lot of transition. Jesse Minter could be one of those guys that if he does well, he might go to those, but does he really want to be at those teams? Let's say the Bears are a disaster and Caleb Williams doesn't pan out. They don't have Tua over at Miami. Obviously, they got some great wide receivers. They got to reset a quarterback. Same thing with the Jets. I mean, Aaron Rodgers didn't even show up to the workouts, the OTAs. Like,
isn't that crazy?
Like, what is happening there? So, would he want to go to a bad situation or stay in a good situation? Who knows? We'll see. So,
Aaron Rodgers is a strange dude, man. I don't know. Yeah. But either way, it is what it is. But dude, this video right here is so great. You got to check it out because he really focuses on measuring the type of strength that they want these players to be in. And it's a big part of it, man.
Dude.
Anyway.
And I feel like Ben Herbert is the X factor to this dang team. Like at such a high level, the way that this guy talks. And I love that we're actually, dude, what do we have for the strength and conditioning coach? He was there for like 25 years or something. I don't think we ever talked to that dude ever. And having Ben Herbert and a guy like this, that dude, you could see his intensity. You could see his example. I mean, this guy was talking about being in a freaking cold plunge, 38 degrees or whatever, 39 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes, bro. Like, that is gnarly. Like, that should be like 3 minutes and get me out of there, dude, quick. Like, this dude is an absolute dog. Like, and one thing I love too is it was Matt Money Smith actually even talked about it in the interview for Chargers Weekly. He talked about just kind of the plates being all in the same position. It's all uniform throughout the entire gym. Sizings of the weights and everything too, just very, very clean throughout. So like, think of how when Jim Harbaugh came in, what was one of the first things he did? He went into the workout room, basically looked and said, okay, I need to go get a shop vac. Let's go to Home Depot real quick. Let's clean this joint up. Like setting a standard and putting the bar high, making sure it doesn't look like an absolute mess. Organization, details make a difference. Like, what if you go to unorganized? Like, think about when you're at the gym and you're like, man, where's that 20-pound weight? Where's that 30-pound weight? Where's like, you don't know where it's at, dude. Like, it's like,
bro, I don't even know where those weights are, dude. I only do 45, son. That's it.
Guy, dude.
Minimum, dude.
Where's the 2.5-pound weights? That's what
I don't do that. That's child's play. Nothing like no, I don't think so. No,
but
bro.
I mean, it's setting a standard, having a very clean looking facility, a very, designed experience for the players. And I love seeing things like that. Like, small, minute details like that make a difference, in my opinion. So,
well, 100%. There's that whole philosophy that cleanliness is godliness. Order is all part of that. So it kind of does translate all the way down to their playing ability as well. It's like, if they are very methodical in everything they do, they won't be making mental mistakes when it matters, So, and it's all about it's like, okay, you see a need. It's not a, I need to do, or I want to do. It's a, I must do this type of thing. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Town's got a good question. What do you think about the DB room? Is it our weakness? Safeties, I think, will be fine if we can stay healthy.
Yep.
Our cornerbacks are a little bit. I think the Stephon Gilmore signing would be pretty awesome if we could get him. We'll see, though.
Yep.
It would be nice to have one more corner there. I don't think Cam Hart's fully ready, but you also got to have you got Tarheed still looking pretty good at the moment for the nickel.
True, yeah.
So that's I don't know. It's kind of my thing.
Pablo, adding more veteran experience wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah. And if Ben Herbert keep both on the field for at least half the season, seriously, would be amazed. And I'll tell you, man, it's tough.
Yeah.
Say what you want to say about Joey Bosa. When he's on the field, he's pretty damn amazing. He's just had injuries, right? And so hopefully, well, he didn't go down to Florida with his brothers to train now. So he's been here with the Chargers. So glad he bought in on that. So we're hoping for something better. So we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes.
Yep.
No doubt. And one thing too, I was just going to elaborate on the Ben Herbert, interview. I mean, in the machines that he had, the robots that he had, the stretching machines, understanding like where the weakness is and a grading system, like this guy really gets down and dirty, like with like how he wants his players to work and function. And, it's awesome. One thing I think that he talked about was like, hey, what about a 175-pound guy here in the camp or whatnot? What's your thoughts on a 175-pound guy? And he's like, well, the thing is, though, it's how that 175 pounds is built on the person. Like, that's it. It's kind of maybe that whole idea of, I'm just big boned or whatever it is, but bodies are built differently. They talked about Thule's legs. Like, I mean, Paulie legs are always generally like big. They got big, stout legs and very, very strong legs, strong ankles, everything like that. Everybody's weight is different. Like even for myself, like I feel like I usually weigh about 170, 175. And then I got people that are like 6'2", 6'3" that are 175. It's like, but I don't think I'm overweight, but it's like my body fits differently.
And you got them tree trunk legs.
I got them trunk life, dude. Trunk legs. Boy.
I think you just described Chris Rumpf as 170 and 6'2" or something like that,
Yeah. I mean, Chris Rump is like a perfect example. It's like he just doesn't hold that weight the same. Like he's a thin-looking dude, string bean dude, or maybe a asparagus stalk.
Asparagus sprout or whatever you call
it. Yeah. So I think it's really, really an awesome video to watch, guys. Watch the Ben Herbert interview. I mean, they're in the auditorium where the Chargers players will be meeting at. I loved it. I thought it was a great interview. Great interview.
Yeah. And again, the culture shift is
awesome,
palpable, right? Everyone knows that it's different there now. And I actually really think that Brandon Staley was a bit of a bridge court. Well, just so you guys know, Kyle and I actually met with the director. What was it?
It was really cool. Night? We had some good time, good chat with him and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got to talking for like well over 3-4 hours. We had a great time.
Yeah,
awesome.
And it was a lot of fun. We were just chopping it up, talking about the Chargers, having a great time. I thought to myself, like, boy, this would be a great podcast with us three just chopping it up like that, dude. I mean, really, because we just were talking, and it would have been a really interesting podcast if we had just recorded it. So,
dude, you guys are all there. If you guys are all there, why not like try to do something?
We were joking because we could have you'd be like AJ Hawk. You'd just be the face.
Smoking a cigar over here.
Smoking a cigar.
You just need to put a fake bookshelf behind you, though.
Yeah. That'd be hilarious. So funny, dude. So funny. But yeah, a lot to be said about that for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah, but future collabs definitely on the horizon. We talked a little bit about like how we wanted to kind of get each other into our studios and stuff, but like. He's not really set up for guests in his studio. Andrew's not really set up with guests in his studio. But I have a plan in mind for out here in Utah to put a little studio together. So like that'll be pretty fun, I think. So
that'd be awesome
for sure.
Yeah, and that's not a bad point too, Miguel. Some conversations are better kept private for great stories to tell later on. No, I agree, man. I agree. That's one thing I love talking with like ex-players and just understanding some of the little stories that you don't hear about and how a team functions, how a certain player was and all that too. So I get it. You guys, I know we talked a little bit about Stephon Gilmore, but I just want to throw out there's kind of this rumor that we might be looking at Jonathan Allen as a trading partner. Add some more guys to the D-line. And I do feel the mid D-line for our team can be a weakness. I think there's a little bit of like openness where just to add another guy in there that could just be another dog, this could be one of those guys. And I don't know what it's going to take to trade for him. He's got a big contract. You would assume that Washington would pay some of that contract and make it a little cheaper for us and make it more enticing for us. So Jonathan Allen would be a dog to add to this team. I think
crazy.
He'd be phenomenal to be able to add that physicality to this team. So,
well, and look, I think we're not that far off from what Harbaugh wants, right?
Yep.
I think it would be nice to have a couple more physical corners and maybe one more guy on the defensive line. And I think we'll be okay. There's a lot to be said. Well, we just lost Kyle there.
There we go. See you, Kyle.
James with the cigar. There we go.
Yeah. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, no, but again, it's look, there's a lot to be said about this team. I personally believe that we're going to be at least a 10-win team this year. I really do. And I think if that happens, that's a good win, right? But I think we also could win up to 12 games this year. I mean, I think 10 and 12 makes a lot of sense to me. So
yeah,
Jonathan Allen or Stephon Gilmore. I would probably say Jonathan Allen.
Yeah.
But Stephon Gilmore wouldn't require any trade picks or anything like that.
But also at the same side, you think what do you think if it's going to be players? Like, let's say it's Quentin Johnston. Let's say it's, I don't know, maybe we got some player that we're looking to cut or whatnot. Like, there's different ways that you could kind of take it. Maybe not picks based, or maybe swap of picks might not be a bad thing. Positions of a pick, say it's like a second round, and say you assume that Washington's going to have a high second or something like that, and you decide to switch each other's seconds for next year. I don't know. I mean, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, and Kyle is out in Utah now. He's going to be living in Orem, so he's moving here eventually. So he's just here for the time being. But a lot to be said about this season, man. I think it's going to be exciting. Again, the cool thing is we're actually going to be getting news next week, right? So it's going to be news is good. Now they can talk to players, right? And then camp is starting up. So this is when Stephon Gilmore is going to sign. This is when trades start happening, right? This is the next wave. Last few weeks are just like, woo, we're twiddling our thumbs thinking about things to do. Yeah. So it's, not a whole lot going on, right? So, Kyle's out in Utah. Changes coming down the road. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So, I mean, and once again, this season's going to be a fun one. And to be honest, it's like, as my expectations, like, we could always go very, very high and say, hey, I think it's going to be 13 wins. I think it's going to be 14 to 15, 16, 17 wins, like whatever it is. I just don't know what to expect yet. That's the thing. Like, I do know Jim Harbaugh is a great coach and he's a winner. And one thing has always stuck in my head since he came to this team, he said, hey, look, like, I'm trying to be better for my players. And it's also at the same side, I think players are thinking the same for him. I need to be better for him too. And so the system has been very, very bought in with our players. They are 100% excited to be able to play for Jim Harbaugh. And I think that there's a great chance that we could have a whole heck of a lot of success very, very quickly with this team. Yeah. It's just going to take possibly a little time to get to that high level. I mean, personally, I think year 2 with Harbaugh might be really the big year that we could have the biggest leap. But I would not be shocked if all of a sudden we have a phenomenal end of the season, winning 13 games and, possibly take the AFC West or whatnot too. But all just needs to work out well. Ben Herbert to me is the biggest X factor, just making sure our guys are healthy.
Yeah. I think the other thing too, that Jim Harbaugh is going to bring a different brand of football that hasn't been in the NFL a little while. Very old school. Again, much like the Ravens, obviously, John Harbaugh. So I don't know that Herbert's going to run the ball as much and as often as Lamar for sure. But I do think we're going to see a very similar type of offense. But I also think that we're going to feature Herbert. A lot of people are thinking, oh, he's not going to throw the ball. I'm like, nah, he'll throw the ball. He'll be fine. I was watching a fantasy video a couple weeks ago that they had him ranked like the 12th ranked quarterback in fantasy. I was like, are you joking me? 12th ranked quarterback? I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
It's wild. I actually even saw it higher than that. I saw it at 20th ranked for Justin Herbert, just because if you think about like what Greg Roman's done in the past, I mean, a lot of those quarterbacks weren't heavy pass-based type quarterbacks. Even to say Lamar Jackson with his MVP year, he maybe had a tad bit over 3,000 yards, throwing the ball, and then it was over 1,200 rushing yards that season. It wasn't his type of game. Now, Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith, Lamar Jackson, totally different quarterbacks than Justin Herbert. So you would assume that there's going to be some big pass plays, and to be honest, might shock the world a little bit. I mean, maybe we're going to be a lot more effective on the pass game year one with just a nice, consistent run game. I mean, if we could just find a run game that could give us like 4 yards a carry, that would be massive for this team.
Yep.
Absolutely massive for this team.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. Hey, Kyle. Hey, internet looks like a lot better now too, huh? You're actually clear. You were choppy as hell there before.
Right now, because I'm just using my phone itself. I just hey, modern solutions require modern. Wait, have it backwards. Modern problems require modern solutions. Yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, that's running definitely better than your internet for sure. So
yeah. Like I said, that's one of the first things I'm going to do when I permanently move out here. It's like upgrade the internet for sure.
Yeah. You got to get that. You got to get that.
Yeah, we got Google Fiber out here, so ain't no excuse not to use it.
Take that. Yeah, I should be having Google Fiber out here pretty shortly. I know they've been building it out throughout all the cities, so that'd be pretty dope.
Cool.
You say Google Fiber?
Google.
You ever see that? You ever see that video that old lady talking to the Google? What is it? It's kind of like the Alexa thing or something. He's like, "Hey Google, hey Google." He's got the Google.
Google.
That's what I was thinking.
Nice.
Well, guys, we've been doing this for about an hour. Why don't we wrap up? I'll just say a couple things, man. Like, look, I think defense, since I did a video on the defense, it's been top of mind for me. I think Jesse Minter's defense is going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to see some good breakout years or seasons for some of these players. Derwin James is going to be comeback player of the year in defense, in my opinion. I think, he's going to be a big part of it. I think Junior Coastal will be big. I think you're going to see a lot of 4-3 defenses out there. And that's typically what we're going to run. So it's going to be physical, man. We're going to take away the run, and we're going to play really physical, and we're going to pressure. We're at least going to get that quarterback out of the pocket or moving around or scrambling and uncomfortable. So I'm excited to see what we do.
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt. Kyle, you want to give your last thoughts?
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting. And I think we're going to be shocking the entire league because everyone's sleeping on us so much, I was kind of like, I didn't really bring this up just yet, but I kind of looked back at the teams that Jim Harbaugh had. And to be honest, I didn't think that they had that stellar of teams. I mean, they had Alex Smith at quarterback, Colin Kaepernick at quarterback. They had Frank Gore at running back. They had Crabtree for wide receiver. They had Vernon Davis. None of these guys, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but they weren't like Hall of Fame level play. I mean, Frank Gore might be a Hall of Fame player, running back, because he's played for like 20 something years,
Yep.
But I mean, Vernon Davis, he had flashes, but he never was like, I remember getting him in fantasy sometimes, and he was always kind of a bust for me, I think, and I think I even picked up Crabtree at some point, but like the teams that he had were not like big, splashy, flashy teams, so he's able to make magic with things that people don't think about, and so I think that we're entering a new, like we said before, we're entering a new era of Chargers, and we're going to be able to move, we're going to move that needle real good, real fast.
Yeah.
Crab sheet.
Crab sheet.
That's what you said. I was going to call you out.
I said crab sheet? Oh, yeah.
You said crab sheet. I was like, man, okay, that's cool.
That's so good. Yeah.
Octool, what's up, Larry?
And then it's really my last thoughts is that it's like, once again, did the video on the offense and everything too. I think it's going to be just a different type of look offense. Like, once again, I'm going to refer back to an interview after Greg Roman got let go from the Ravens. He said, hey, look, I'm going to be retooling my offense. Basically, I'm going to have some different looks. I'm going to do a little bit more different things because, going back to some of the Ravens fans that talked about the Greg Roman era, it just got a little stale. It just seemed like it didn't progress at all. It stayed kind of the same mantra of just run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And I do think that is going to change. And when you got a weapon like Justin Herbert, come on, you got to throw the dang ball. Like, you have to be out there and throwing the ball quite a bit. And you're going to just have that as a complement with the run game with him. So you do have to showcase Justin Herbert and his ability to throw the ball, but you do need to make sure that there's a run game involved. Now, Ben Mason, Lockdown, basically 775, stated, hey, look, Ben Mason will have some key runs conversions. If you watch the Ravens offense, they love using their fullbacks. There's one play that I highlighted too, where Ricard was basically on the left tackle on the line, and plus 2 tight ends in the backfield with a running back. Like, you're going to see a lot of, fullback type situations with this team. So once again, I'm excited to just see this season get going. I'm excited to even watch preseason a lot, which I don't generally watch too much of that, but it's going to be very, very awesome all around, guys. And Chef K, what's up, brother? I'm in Mesa too. So let's link up, dude. Chef K, are you a chef at a restaurant or something too, man? Like, hey, let me know.
Yeah, hit us up. Last question, then we'll hop off. Junior Colson, known for run stuffing, pass coverage, or both? Both. Yeah, he's very good. He's a complete linebacker. Very similar to Deion Henley. Deion Henley's very much that way as well. So, yeah, he's very similar.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think we have a really good core of linebackers. I think we have a very good core of linebackers, and I'm excited to see them develop in this defense too, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we just hit the 1 hour mark, and again, everything gets more exciting next week, folks. So Kyle will be taking a tour of the Bolts, and then get some photos, post them on there, right? We got to see how it's going too. So let's make it happen. And then, guys, at the end of the day, we're the Bolt Bros. Go Chargers.
That's right.
Bolt
up. Let's go. Bolt Bros.
Let's go.
Go.